the way we produced our own food. All the indigenous peoples in different parts of the world produced food that nourished, and not only nourished, but it was healing. It was preventative of all kinds of sicknesses. We knew that this is nourishment. And when we ground amabele, sazi ukuthi soba nokudla, usesicula, ungamthini umuntu omnyama ngengoma kodwa. Kaya mabele kwaZulu. Kaya mabele kwaZulu. Izwe lakithi kaZulu. Izwe lakithi kaZulu. As we worked, we sang. And we take all of that to the many spaces where we find ourselves. And then we look at this thing that is the plants that grow around us all by themselves. We didn't even plant them, but they've got a way of talking to us. Plants that let us know that we will not be having any iron deficiency. We won't be having any problems with our eyesight. The problems that come, the skin problems, all kinds of things. We know that we belong here because of all that is around us. We are connected. And others look at a dung beetle, working away, rolling into a perfect sphere. Perfect, rolling it on the ground, and our people look at it and they think, hey, no, yes, inengoma lethu soyishaya kancane ngeke sigijime. Igqirha lendlela uqongqothwane, igqirha lendlela uqongqothwane, seleqabele qithapha uqongqothwane, seleqabele qithapha. Uyazi ukuthi wenzani. And if you are like me and you've got this addiction, I'm not telling everybody, I'm just telling you who are here because you're my friends. I've got an addiction. I love honey. I can never survive without honey. On a daily basis, I'm going to consume this wonderful thing called honey. But who can make it? Does anybody know how to do it here? No, it's the bees who do it. The bees. They have been doing it since time immemorial. And they've got a wisdom to make honey to be something that can never go bad, that cannot rot, something that soothes my voice, something that helps me to feel healthy, something that is healing even on a wound or a rush. So much can be attributed to something that is produced by these small creatures. But because we are such a developed world, we are putting their lives at risk. Now, can you imagine life without bees? Can we survive? Impossible. Pelile nat. Huh? Pelile. End of bees means end of humanity. What are we going to eat? So all of these things that are supposedly development sometimes take us back. We say development, sometimes it takes us back. So we've got to find ways to create a balance. And when you look at all that balance, you find it in different nationalities, in different cultures, and you see it happening in the birds up in the sky, knowing what to do. And Ukozi, the eagle, looks down, and with that sharp eyesight, they know exactly what is down there. They can hunt, but no matter how high they fly, they still have to come down to drink some water, to nest, to bring their children up, to teach them to be the kings and queens of the bird world. And so all of us want to achieve so much. Evolution in Africa, all the wisdoms that we talk about, but we always have to go back. We have to touch the past and feel the future. All the time, touch the past and feel the future. And as we develop and we see all of these developments that are with us, and we say we need to learn to do this in a different way, and the research that is being done today was pronounced by elders generations ago. With their tongues, they wrote on the ears of their children. And as they wrote on those pages, they went into the mind, and from the mind, they went into the heart and the very souls, so that they are able to pass it on to the next generation and the next generation. And that wisdom has to be propelled to the future, centuries unborn. And as we look at why we are gathered here today, knowing that there is so much sharing to be done, we want to look at people who have got ways of saying things. Maybe we go to South America. What do you think? South America, this man says, when the enthusiastic story of our time is told for those who are yet to be born, but announce themselves with more generous face, will come out ahead. Those who've suffered most from these times. But that, still being ahead of our time, means much more suffering. But then it is beautiful to see the world with eyes that have not yet been born, and splendid to know yourself victorious when all of it is still so cold and so dark. Those are the wise words of Pablo Neruda from Chile. When you listen to that, you think, are we suffering? Are we living in the dark? Are we cold? Sometimes it feels like we are. And we create that suffering. We create that cold, that dark, when we are able to create hunger in a land of plenty. When we can make sure that other people have got no access to spaces that are clean and warm, not to mention clean water to drink, never mind to bathe or to clean their spaces. So we need to see ourselves victorious, even though it's cold and it is dark. We look at what the different nations are doing and cross-pollinate and see what they are doing better than what we are doing. Because if you are constantly hearing what you are saying, constantly listening to your own people and not hearing what other nationalities are doing, you're going to be stuck here. I think because of this cleverity of artificial intelligence, the technology and all of this, we must grab it by the horns and not be scared of it and use it in our favor, because all the research that has been done must not disappear, that we start doing new research and new research and new research. What has existed before, let's bring it back to give us strength and muscles to move forward. Some of what has been said about certain cultures, whether you're talking Mexican, whether you're talking Somali, whether you're talking the Philippines, whether you're talking, it doesn't matter, whether Greenland, sometimes it is people who are doing research who don't speak the local language. And I'm thinking, research, no speak local language, pronouncing results? Kanjan, how is that possible? So we could find ways of collaborating with those people we claim to be researching, or those communities. If we have to be in spaces where we go sleep at night outdoors, so that we know what those creatures sound like, whether we're looking at bats, whether we're looking at tortoises. There's a mountain tortoise climbing the stairs. Who would have thought? Cape Town ICC. You look at all of those things. Unless you want to spend time in those spaces, you're going to be doing just dabbling and dabbling and dabbling. And then again, it is not only about speaking the language of those animals, it is knowing them, speaking with them in a way that says, I hear you, I am learning. I sometimes have to close my eyes in order to hear you. I sometimes have to be still in order to hear you. You look at all of that and you think, we are all storytellers after all. We are weavers of dreams. And looking at all of that, we realize that we are more alike than we are different. And we need to embrace that. I have heard that in a certain village by a waterfall, there was a huge tree. And that tree is called a baobab. We like to call it umtomku. I hear how we love to be connected to nature. Yes, in Africa, siyasi, tanda isizwe sethu, yeah, Africa, simunye nendalo. Africa, simunye nendalo. Africa, simunye nendalo. Now, if you hear somebody is Mukwena, who are they related to? The crocodile. We hear them being related to another massive animal called Mhlophe. They are related to the elephant. Others are related to Tau. What is a Tau again? A what? A lion, a hen. Lion. You see, the different animals, we are one with nature. The different animals are our own family totems. I have heard when I've been to Canada, Kakawista, Lapo, going to Vancouver Island, to Nanaimo, and different countries I've been blessed to travel to, how they have spirit animals. I'm thinking, yes, we are more alike than we are different. And so when we look at those spirit animals and give them the respect that they deserve, we can't go wrong. Even if we veer off the main road, we can always find our way to the main road indeed. So I look at all these different animals, I look at the trees, I see Mamba, there's a family there. Matola, there's a family there. I go, oh Hatebe, oh Pungane. I look at these different family names and I'm thinking, let's claim them, let's honor them, let's celebrate them and reopen our minds and bring the ancient wisdoms to where we are right now so that we take it and we use the technology that is at our disposal. And we say, all of what is around us is not separate. We must coexist. All that is around us, I know some people look at only domestic animals as being my best friend, my family, my everything. But also, what is a domestic animal really? There are different kinds of domestic. So I look at the different creatures, the different plants, the different organisms. Some of them, we can't even see them. So I look at the 4 seasons changing without fail. They've been going for millennia without fail, changing. And I'm thinking, what are the other 4 elements that I like? Here we go. I love Mother Earth. We say, sing abantu bomdabu. We are the children of the earth. As you can see, we come in different colors. To say black people doesn't make sense. Because we're not all the same color black. We are different types of the clay, of the mud, of the ground that is here in the African continent. So we are the children of the earth. And now, celebrating earth, we're celebrating a feeling of being grounded, a feeling of being connected. And as you can see, many styles of dance, they hit the ground, saying, Sawubona, Mama Mhlaba. Sawubona, we greet Mother Earth. And we look at also the way we need to be grounded and feel confident and know that then when we are connected and confident, we can be generous to share with others so that you do not eat when your neighbor is hungry. That's the generosity that comes from honoring Mother Earth. And maybe let's look at the wind. When the wind blows, sometimes it's a breeze. Sometimes it's just fresh air that we breathe. Sometimes it is the wind that can bring fear. We are terrified. What's going to happen? What shall be destroyed? But sometimes it is the wind that says, do not fear change. Change is constant. You don't have to be worried about it. See what can happen in your life, in your community, in your profession. That change is part and parcel of life on a daily basis. And so, as that wind blows, it says, allow other ideas to be carried, to be shared from one community to another, from one faculty to another, from one department to all of these places. Let them be shared. And so as we are sharing the ideas, we grow stronger and we see those ideas develop powerful wings and they take to the sky. Maybe I like fire more. Fire, it bears resemblance to the sun, the original source of light, original source of power and energy. And that light that came from the sun, one as it came to the ground, you saw seeds that were planted underground. You saw those seeds feeling the energy, beginning to wiggle and dance. You see them moving and turning around and around, and you see them breaking the ground and they germinate, come out, and they get kissed by the sun. Mwah! And you can see all those plants that are going to nourish us and all of nature around us. And that fire, it is the fire that makes sure that the food we cook, it tastes a little bit better, no? Sometimes also you look at that fire as something that can warm us. Fire that can bring light and chase away fear. And that light that says, hope is your walking stick. Even if things are difficult, hope must be part and parcel of you. That's what light does. And so fire does exactly that. It allows talk to turn to action, action to passion, and passion to turn into immeasurable success and triumph. We talk about water. Love water. Is there life without water? Is that even conceivable? Impossible. We cannot live without water. And I look at water and I see what it has done in the world. Sometimes we are scared. It destroys things. Sometimes it gives life because there's no way there can be life without it. And water also is a spiritual element. You look at it, you watch poets coming up with the most beautiful words. Where do they get these words from? And then you look at the springs. You watch waterfalls. You watch different forms of water. And yes, I love the time when the rivers are rushing all their way to the welcoming arms of the ocean. I'm saying our efforts must be like those rivers, going to the welcoming arms of the ocean. Who's the ocean? It is future generations who must benefit to what we are doing today. That is the ocean we are talking about. They must benefit so that they can pass on all this information. We're not using big words in order to sound educated. We are saying these are important forms of knowledge that remind us that we cannot disrespect Mother Nature and think we will survive. And I look at all of those and I'm thinking, we, the sons and daughters of Africa, and the returning sons and daughters of Africa, as they are connected here, I look at all of you, I'm thinking we hold hands. We say the one who does not want to make this journey to a better future will regret. Uzozisola. I don't know if every clever people like you are allowed to sing. Who's in charge? Sorry, members. Can they sing?
No.
Okay. The Makulipa says we can sing. You see, when you try to do something good, or maybe you don't know if it's going to be good, but you have to do it, like you had to gather here today. And other people said, I won't be going, this sounds nonsense. Good, I'm microban. Hey, Kosiam. Micro something, man. How do you say it in Setswana anyway? I can't say it in Setswana. I can't say it in Setswana, this thing. I'm not going to that conference or in seminar, all of this clever thing. I'm not going. But when they hear the results of what was achieved, then they regret. They wish they were there because they could have contributed, they could have grown, they could have come out of here better than ever imagined. So here we go. Sola, 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 sola. Let's go. Sola, 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 se ve así 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 sola, se ve así sola, se ve así sebeyazi sola, sebeyazi sola, sebeyazi sola, sebeyazi sola. Now you must pretend that you are not grown-ups, ne? Just fake it for now. No, I'm not going to tell anybody this is between you and me. Can we do this? Let's just pretend. Sebeyazi sola, sola, sebeyazi 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 sola. Something is bothering me. Something is bothering me. Looks like you don't know. We all want people. Something is bothering me. Something is bothering me. Looks like you don't know. We all want people. Something is bothering me. Something is bothering me. Looks like you don't know. We all want people. Sebeyazi sola, sebeyazi sola, sebeyazi sola, sebeyazi sola, sola. Thank you for having me. Shalom. 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 Enjoy the rest of the conference. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You are the soldiers. Microbial. Equality. You are the soldiers. Woo! You are the soldiers. There's no stopping you now. There's no stopping you now. You come to Mother Africa, you reconnected, and you are going up to the